you outside, away from the crowd.
Hello, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, thanks so much for joining. My name is Misty, and today I am bringing you another episode of our Drifter Challenge series. And if you are not part of the Raven family but want to be part of the Raven family, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that it does notify you when new things go live on the channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in with Adelaide and see what she's up to today. As you can see, she is just getting a little bit of gardening done, and we have built her a wall. That's right, just a one singular wall. I did put in a little bit of a landscaping area here and gave her a wall and a door here. We are slowly building her up a little bit of a house. She is just going ahead and foraging around her house here and gathering up some of the harvestables in the area around the house so that we can get ourselves a little bit more money. We do need to get her 3 more walls. The only thing that I had enough money for was 1 wall and a door. So she is going to need to get some more funds so that we can get her the other 3 walls and a roof. And so we are just slowly getting up our funds in order for us to be able to do that. As you can see, Adelaide is still really upset and saddened over the loss of her father Marcus, and we are still mourning for her and that loss. I'm just gonna get her to go ahead and water the plants on her lot. In the last episode, we had gone to the local garden area and we had gotten a bunch of plants from there, and we had planted them all and expanded our garden to a pretty significant sized garden here. And so we just want to make sure that we can go ahead and tend that so that it does grow and we can meet those goals on our aspiration. We do know that oh good, we have them all still complete. That's perfect. We do know that she is currently working towards the freelance botanist aspiration, and so she does have some goals that she needs to meet for that. We can't currently work towards the one where she has to go to, where is that place that she has to go? I completely had a brain just, my thoughts went. But where she has to go to Granite Falls and that aspiration, she can't work on that until we actually are married and we have a child and that child has become a toddler. But we are working on the freelance botanist in the current challenge as of right now, so we do want to meet those goals. So she has to water some plants and we need to evolve plants and we need to do those things. So we are just working on getting that garden in a good place so that it's currently growing and thriving and doing well. So once we've done that, we are going to go ahead and let her get some fishing done. We'll do that for a little bit of time. Hopefully that'll give her a little bit of fun, and we'll let her do that until she gets maybe a little bit of her hunger down, and she starts kind of bemoaning the fact that she's starving here, and then we'll take her over to the cooler and let her grab herself a little bit to eat. I did see that she did have something over there that she could dig up, so we will go ahead also and dig up some of the things in the area that have popped up here and get the collectibles in the area around here, and also check out the local garden and see if there's anything that can be harvested again, and if there is, then we will get those harvestables as well, just so that we can have us a little bit more money. And hopefully we will be able to go ahead and expand on our house. I would like for us to be able to get Adelaide a actual working house. It doesn't have to be anything super big, but I would like her to have at least 4 walls and to have a little bit of amenities. So even if we just brought in the stuff that is currently standing outside the toilet and the little shower bucket and the little sink that we currently have sitting out here, if we just moved those indoors, I would like that. So we don't necessarily have to have upgraded items, but I would like to move all of her furnishings into a house that is, sheltered from the weather. So that is the goal for this episode, and so hopefully we'll be able to do that. She is just going ahead and getting herself something to eat here, and then we will have her go and dig up some of these items here in these areas around the house here. And I really hope that in today's episode she kind of gets over this mourning, because it has been a long time coming that she has been sad over the death of her father, and I know that is really tragic for her, but unfortunately it is really putting a dent in us finding any meaningful relationships and things like that. And as we know, we do need her to go ahead and find someone that is a non-playable character that we can kind of get on with, that she can maybe find a relationship with, that she wants to spend her life with, because, you know, she's not getting any younger, and she has to, you know, start her aspiration once her child has become a toddler. And so we really need to go ahead and find someone that she wants to spend her life with, and we need to do that sooner rather than later, because she already is a young adult and she has to marry, have a child, and do all of those things and work on all of those. So we do have, you know, a limited amount of time that we need to meet these goals. And so I really need her to not be sad and us be able to be kind of romantic. And right now, with her being sad, she doesn't want to be romantic with anyone, and it makes it really, really difficult to build up any kind of romance with anyone. So I'm hoping that in this episode, she will kind of get over that sadness, and she will go ahead and start to heal and be able to move on and find some kind of peace and some kind of happiness in her life. So it does look like the garden here does have some things that can be harvested, so we will go ahead and just get them harvested as well, and that will help us with the funds so that she can go ahead and build up in her house. And so that is perfect and exactly what we needed. That will bring us some pretty good money as well. We currently have 210 simoleons, so after we dig up all of these items and get the items from the garden, I think she's going to have a pretty decent amount of money that we will have to work with. So that is going to be really, really good. And look at her go. She's just like, okay, I'm going to grab this frog, and then we'll head over and we'll dig up some more things, and she will gather everything in the area, and then we will breed the frogs together and go ahead and sell everything and see what our grand total is and what we're currently working with, so that we can go ahead and build on to the house and get that going. And I'm really, really excited to go ahead and get her a structure built on her property, because then it's going to look like this is kind of coming together a little bit more. We know in the beginning of these series, sometimes in the beginning it's seriously a grind, and you know, it is very, very difficult. She can't really do a whole lot other than forage for things, and you know, it's constantly go, go, go. But you know, I think once we start getting a house built and she's got her garden and it's being maintained, and we find somebody that we can kind of, you know, get on with, I think things are going to start kind of falling into place like they should, and it's going to start feeling like our story's coming together, and that is something that I absolutely can't wait for. So I'm really hoping this is the episode that things start to turn around for our dear Adelaide, because to be completely honest, in our last episode, all things just really weren't going well for her, and so maybe episode 2 is going to bring her a little bit better luck. So as we know, as she is in the area, whenever she comes across someone that she doesn't know, we are trying our best to go ahead and meet the people in the area that are non-playable characters, so that we can find someone that she can maybe get on with. So we will go ahead and get her to meet the vendor in this area here, because it is a new vendor from the last time, and just get them to at least introduce themselves to one another, so that we can at least know her, and you know, possibly it would be someone else that she could potentially have a relationship with. We know that Adelaide is attracted to male Sims, and so it's probably not going to be someone that she's going to want to be with, but we're still going to go ahead and just at the very least introduce ourselves, just to make sure that that's not something that she wants, and go from there. And then we're going to go ahead and head her home. We're going to sell all of these items here that she has gathered, and we've, like I said, bred this frog here, and then she can go ahead and go home and maybe get herself up a little bit of fun and tend to some of her needs. And then we will go ahead and start erecting a little bit of a shelter here once we have found out how much money she has to work with. Why are you doing this? She's just like, I'm just going to go ahead and tend to this garden here because it needs my help as well. Okay, that's fine. She is one for gardening, which we already know, so I guess it's okay that she wants to work on the local garden as well as her garden at home. She's going to keep it thriving. I really think that's probably the gardener's actual job that you're doing, but I mean, if you want to do it, then I'm going to let you do it. So we have sold all of these items, and that gives us 963 simoleons to work with. So, I think that's plenty of money for us to at least get her started. So let's go ahead and get her home because her needs are in serious, serious trouble here. So she needs her hunger and she needs some hygiene. She desperately needs some fun, and she's also pretty tired. While we are heading on home, though, it does look like there is someone here that could possibly be someone that she needs to get to know. We're just going to stop here and have a chat here with this gentleman and see if it's someone that maybe she can get along with. He is a young adult, and so it could be possible that he might be someone that is a non-playable character. So we're just going to have a little bit of conversation and get to know him. She's like, "Hi, I'm new to the area. My name is Adelaide. I just wanted to introduce myself, let you know that, I, really enjoy the neighborhood. I really, wanted to just tell you that, I love, everything about this place. I wanted to know kind of what it is that you do for a living." Really, they're just trying to get to know one another, and we are trying to find out kind of what he does. But she is desperate for the bathroom and desperate for some food and a shower, and so she's gonna go ahead and head on home. And she's like, "I've got to go for now. We can chat later." Now that they know each other, she can invite him over at any given time, and so she's just going to go ahead and head herself on home. She's got a green cloud following her, and she is pretty miserable, to be completely honest. So she is just going to head straight to the shower because that's the first thing that's on her mind, is getting herself clean. So poor Adelaide is just going to go over here and just have herself a quick shower and get herself cleaned up here. And then she's going to grab herself a bite to eat out of the cooler there. And hopefully that will make her feel a little bit better. And Jaden is giving us a call, and she's just wanting to know if she can come over to hang out. And we're just going to go ahead and let her know that, yeah, Mom, that's completely fine if you want to come over and hang out. We're just having ourselves a bite to eat. We know that even if we told Mom that no, she couldn't come over, Jaden's going to come over anyway. She constantly is coming over and checking on us to make sure that we're okay, even when we don't tell her to. She sneaks by and she's like peeping on Adelaide to make sure Adelaide's okay. And Adelaide's like, "I am grown and I'm taking care of myself, and I can't believe that you don't trust that I can do this on my own. And why are you constantly worrying about me? And why are you constantly, thinking that I can't do this on my own? Like, no one was like lurking over your shoulder, Mom, when you were, trying to do this. Like, there wasn't anyone that was like, why is Jaden trying to do this? Or not having faith in you that you could do it. But yet here you are coming around and constantly like, oh, I don't think Adelaide's taking care of herself, or she's, whatever." And so I think that, Adelaide really doesn't like the fact that her mom's kind of checking in on her, checking up on her, and is worried all the time, But Adelaide, doesn't understand that Jaden just worries about her, and she knows that this is a really hard life. So as you can see, Adelaide is extremely tired. She's just going to go ahead and get a little bit of rest. And while she is getting some rest, Jaden has come on over, and she is just talking to the garden here that Adelaide has planted. We know that this whole family absolutely has a huge love for plants and gardening, and so it doesn't surprise me at all that Jaden is over here talking to these plants. But while she is doing that and Adelaide is getting some sleep, we are just going to go ahead and spend this money and get this house fixed up as best we can here.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further? away from the fray. Let's not get stuck in our worries. We'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air. Look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, it will all seem better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours Are we part of this circus? Is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate. Do I?
As you can see, I only had enough money to build the walls itself. Anna gave them the roof and went ahead and put a little bit of siding on the outside, and then I didn't have any more money. I pulled the stuff inside, but then we ran out of funds. So she has herself a shelter. It's not a whole lot. We'll have to get her some more money, but at least she does have herself a bit of a shelter now. Once she wakes up from her nap, we will go ahead and bring her stuff, like her cardboard, into the house. She is going to go ahead and harvest the garden here again, and we will sell what we have that we can and use whatever money that she brings in. We will obviously use to, add on to the house. So anything that she gets, we will sell and we will add as we go. And hopefully we will end up with a little bit of a good house, as the day goes on. I'm just going to hang up some pictures of her and her mom, which is Gen 1 and Gen 2, obviously, in the house here, and just give it a little bit of personality and give the house a little bit of character, because as of right now, there's not a whole lot in here, kind of making it her own. But I do want, as time goes by and as the money comes in, we obviously will be expanding this house. We do know that this house does have to be a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house worth $40K. And so this will obviously be a house that is going to expand. Right now it is a 1-room house, and over time this is going to change and it's going to look different. And this room won't be a 1 room. This would probably be the living room, because it's where the front door is. So I'm just going to go ahead and hang these photos in this room here, and we will decorate as we go. And so currently right now we have, a little bit of money coming in from our plants that she just harvested. And so we will go ahead and do what we can. It looks like we have about 712 simoleons to work with. So we'll go ahead and decorate a little bit.
I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down. And it's not a lie that I die. I can't hide what this is. Yeah, I keep drowning in those blue eyes, and you can tell me all of your lies. I will put out all of the fire if it gets too dark. I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. you can tell me all of your lies. I will put out all of the fire. If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be.
I was able to get her a little bed and a fridge, so she does now have a bed that she can sleep on and a fridge that she can get herself some food, and she can store, some food in her fridge if she were to go ahead and kind of need to store any leftovers or things like that. So that's perfect for her. She can grab quick meals out of the fridge or whatever she needs to do with that. She can store her vegetables in the fridge now if she'd like to store things. So we are well on our way for Adelaide here, and I absolutely love that for her. She is just going to rummage through the trash here a little bit and kind of clean up the recyclables and the compost. We don't want that trash can kind of getting out of hand. And so she's going to take care of that, which we love because we don't want flies and things flying around at this trash can. That is definitely not going to make for good anything. And truth be known, we could probably use some of these compostable items for our garden in the future as well, which is going to help with fertilizer and things of that nature. So that being said, I am going to just change her outfit here. She is feeling a little bit hot. It is a hot summer day, and so we will just get her into something a little more comfortable. She is desperately needing some fun, and so she's going to just go ahead and come over here and work on her gardening a little bit more. As we know, that is what she considers fun. She loves her garden so very much, and she is just like Jaden when it comes to that. This whole family, the Gallaghers, they absolutely love being outside and love the outdoors. They love dealing with the gardening and things of that nature. She isn't really all that great at fishing, but I am going to go ahead and just try to get her fishing a little bit more. I'm hoping that she will get her fishing skill up some because she can use the fish to, as fertilizer and things like that as well. So, if she does get her fishing skill up some, not only will she be able to use that as fertilizer, but also we can sell the fish, or even she could possibly eat the fish. So the fishing skill is going to help her immensely. So, right, they have been kind of outsmarting her a little bit, but I'm hoping that she's going to get better with time. That all said, when we see the mailman come through again, I would like for her to go ahead and try to spend a little bit of time talking with him. I would like for her to build her relationship up with him a little bit more. I know for a fact that the pizza delivery boy and her do not have any kind of chemistry whatsoever. They, in the last episode, we found out that they are not compatible whatsoever, and we didn't get that message about the mail carrier. Now, she is sad, and so we are struggling in that department, but I'm hoping that, they will still be able to build a bit of a friendship, and once she isn't sad anymore, that friendship might develop into something more. So that is my hope, because she has met the vendors near the garden, and that hasn't taken her anywhere because they're female. And so being that the mail carrier is a man, I'm hoping he's our guy. So let's hope that Advaith here is the guy that she wants to spend her life with, because he's the only guy so far that I have seen that is a non-playable character that is in the area, and that she didn't get a message about that said they aren't into one another. We didn't get that message, so I'm hoping that we can, get them on. So we're just going to let them chat for a little while, get their friendship up some, and hopefully they will kind of get on with one another and be able to be friends. She's going to kind of cry on his shoulder a little bit, ask for a little bit of advice, and she's going to just say to him, I'm really having a rough time right now, and, try to, get him to cheer her up a little bit, and hopefully he can give her a little bit of advice, and he can help her to get over this sadness a little bit quicker. and that will make her feel a little bit better. He is going to go ahead and hang out for a little while because she's asked him if he wants to hang out, and he was like, I would love to hang out. That would be great. So he's just come over to hang out for a little while, and so that is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to hang out. They're going to get to know one another a little bit better, and hopefully she can give him, even if it's just a couple of gloomy compliments, maybe she can flirt with him a little bit and they can get a little bit of romance. That is my hope. As you can see, she does need to go ahead and go to the washroom, so we will have to get him out of the house just for a moment so that she can go ahead and use the loo here, but I don't think he will mind. I think he would be a little bit of a gentleman and just be like, yeah, absolutely, I'll step outside. That's not a big deal. You can totally go and use the washroom and I'll wait around, and that's, you know, perfectly fine. So she's going to use the washroom, and then these two are going to continue to just spend a little bit of time talking to one another and getting on here as friends. As you can see, their friendship bar is going up quite a bit, and I do think that they are getting on pretty well, which is great. I am going to, like I said, go ahead and try to give him a gloomy compliment and just, you know, go ahead and try to get them to build a little bit of romance. Maybe I can get her out of this funk of being sad. But she is definitely just going to ask him, like, for some advice, ask about his day. They're going to talk about favorite authors, and she is just going to spend as much time as she can trying to get to know him and trying to, you know, learn anything and everything she can about Advaith, because she's like, you know, he is kind of, oh, okay, so she totally did, you know, do a little bit of a gloomy compliment there. It seems to have gone over pretty well, and I think that they actually are going to be able to build a little bit of romance. He seemed to have taken that pretty well, and I think that, you know, he kind of liked that a little bit. They seem to be getting on pretty well, and yeah, I think that they are liking one another pretty good. Like, their friendship bar is going up pretty good, and it looks like she has acquired the romance skill from the gloomy compliment as well. And they do have a little bit of hearts going on there. So guys, I think that this is actually going to work out pretty well. I think they are actually going to be able to build a little bit of romance between the two of them, and he might actually be the person that we are going to be able to spend our life with. And she is going to go ahead and try to, oh, they have a sentiment gain as well, and she asked him if he likes what he sees, and he's like, yeah, you've got it going on. And now they've got some romance in a romance bar going on. So this is definitely the person that she is supposed to spend her life with. They are attracted to one another, absolutely, and it is just that she is feeling so gloomy and down because of the loss of her dad that unfortunately she's having a really hard time. And as you can see, she's had to go to her bed and cry it out a little bit because she's having such a hard time with the loss of her father. But he is definitely the person that she is supposed to spend her life with, guys. And so I am actually going to be giving him a makeover, like a CC makeover, and we will definitely be bringing him into the family. I think I am going to go ahead and see if I can get them to move in together. I think they have enough friendship that I can ask him to join the household. So let's go ahead and do that, because they are doing quite a bit of romantic interactions here. Their friendship bar is about halfway, and their romance bar is starting to go up quite a bit as well. And so look at them embrace. Oh my goodness, guys, they are so cute together. So yeah, I am definitely going to see if I can get them to move in together. I think this is going to be perfect for Adelaide. I think it's going to help her get over her dad's, you know, demise a lot quicker if she has him around to help her kind of get over her sadness. She'll have someone that she can talk to that will be here with her that can, you know, be a support system for her, and she won't be, you know, quite so alone. And, you know, right now she is just so alone all the time. And I know that, you know, she wanted to be on her own and she wanted to, you know, branch out and do this by herself. But I think that just meant she didn't want to live with her parents for her whole life. Not that she wanted to be alone for forever. And it says here that throughout this conversation, she got the idea that he found her quite attractive. And so she is noticing that he, wants to be with her and he finds her attractive, and she feels the same about him. So she's got an attractiveness alert for him as well. So guys, these two are going to go ahead and move in together. We're going to go ahead and move him in. We will go ahead and get rid of the money that he brings into the household. We only had 3 simoleons to our name, so I will definitely go ahead and change that back down to the 3 simoleons that we had, because we can't bring in the money that he brought in. So we'll change that to 3 simoleons because that's all we had to our name, and he will come and we will have nothing. So we have 3 simoleons to our name, and he is now living with us. And we will definitely give him a CC makeover as well. As you would have seen in the thumbnail, he has himself a makeover, and yeah, he is now living with us. And these two are now going to be getting themselves into a bit of a relationship. They are just, talking, and she is, gonna complain to him about her problems and just say to him, like, I'm really struggling with the loss of my dad. I'm really having trouble getting over him. I think that I'm taking this a lot harder than I, thought I would. And I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you listening to me. And it really means a lot to me that, you're here, and I really care about you. And they are just, look how cute they are together. I mean, I think that this is going to be really, really helpful for Adelaide to kind of get over being so sad all the time. And I think this is really going to get her and pull her out of this funk that she's in, guys. So I think that it won't be too much longer. These two will probably end up, getting much closer really fast, and they will be able to probably start thinking about expanding their family. I mean, right now they are only, interested in one another. They aren't necessarily together. They're just now having their very first kiss, so we're not going to move them too fast, and we're not going to have them have, a baby just quite yet. But I think that, that time is definitely of the essence, and she would want to go ahead and start a family. She wouldn't want to wait until she was, much, much older to, start a family with him. But that being said, I think I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of Adelaide and Advaith together as a couple. Do you think that this is going to work out for them? Do you think that he is going to be what pulls her out of this depression that she's in and the mourning that she's in from Marcus? And let me know what you think of her new place. And I will see you guys in the next one. But until then, I am going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.